So the Crowd America system is mirrored from the Federal Reserve System. There's 12 of these regional banks. When they first created the Federal Reserve System, it was sometimes called the National Reserve, the Aldrich Plan. It was passed, I believe, Christmas Eve of 1913. And they made them make these regional banks because they thought the thing was too centralized. It's called central banking, right? So they made these individual reserve banks in Boston, Philly, Chicago, San Francisco, etc. And this system is not at all controlled by the US government or the American people. The owners are the owners of the primary dealers. We don't really exactly know who they are. So, here, I'll step away so you can see it better. So, I hate to break this to you, but Joe Biden doesn't really run the country, okay? Because they control the money. Now, the Federal Reserve System, just in the last year or two, namely since the beginning of the war with Russia, and the explosion of interest rates means all the mortgages and treasuries that this thing owns have collapsed in value, okay? So it now has negative equity. Its assets are the US treasuries that the American people have to pay interest on. And it's losing money. So it's an interesting situation. I'm going to travel to all the Federal Reserve regions and do a video like this. Crowd America is going to be based on these regions, sort of an ironic, fun, kind of sarcastic way. But this is a debt-based system, okay? And the reason Black Friday sales are starting to die is because the American economy is saturated by debt. You can Google something called the Minsky moment that talks about debt saturation. We can't take on any more debt, okay? The government can always take on more debt because it can print money. And what will be interesting to see is if the Fed comes to the rescue of the US Treasury. The Treasury is not allowed to create money. These things create the money, okay? Joe Biden has no money. The US Congress has no money. Janet Yellen has no money. These things have the money. That may change. I don't know. I really don't know. But what I do, let me tell you something. What I do know is this. Whatever change is going to happen in America, some of it's going to come from the money system, some of it's going to come from politics, but most of it will come from what we invest in as individuals, as citizens, individually. Right now, we're mainly investing in 5 or 6 tech companies. It's more than half of the S&P 500 are the same FANG stocks that everybody has been using for the last 20 years. They're not really creating anything new. The economy is very stagnant because of it. So all the things that you want to see happen in your life, food, energy, housing, etc., it's what we're going to invest in that's going to be what comes out 5, 10, 20, 30 years down the road. For the last 20 years, we've mainly invested in McMansions, speculations about AI and autonomous cars and shit, and war, mainly war. We've mainly been investing in war, about $1 trillion a year. So I'm up here to meet with a few people. We need a president, a secretary, and a treasurer for each region. And last night I met with someone who I think is a great candidate to be the president, and I'm going to meet somebody right now to be the secretary. And I'll keep you posted, but we're going to be going from region to region.